From University of Richmond Stadium in Richmond, Virginia, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Group AAA Division 5 State Championship Football. The Phoebus Phantoms versus the Patrick Henry Patriots. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to a cold, rainy, drafty, drizzly, droll. What other D word can I use, Bob?
Dumb.
Richmond Stadium, as you see the Phoebus Phantoms getting set to come on the field. We would normally be standing down on the field speaking to you, but we've had some technical problems as a result of the rain and the inclement weather here at Richmond. We are unable to be on the sideline, but we're going to have our pregame show for you from our luxurious penthouse booth here in the wide open spaces atop the Richmond Stadium press box. Bob, we're going to make the best of a bad situation, as they would say, because we're here to cover the Phoebus Phantoms in their quest for the Division 5 Group AAA Championship. Bob, they've got a great opportunity this afternoon to do this.
They really do. I talked to Bill D, and Bill was ready to do an interview with us down on the field, but with the difficulties, we just couldn't do it. But I tell you, Tim, the field is in excellent shape. It is dreary. It's misty. It's one of those kind of days that if you're playing football, you're not going to know it. But if you're sitting in the stands and we're sitting up on top, wide open, you call it a penthouse. Well, it's a penthouse with no windows. But, it's going to be a good game because both of these teams are well coached. Coach Ray Long of the Patriots said, Tim, in a interview that probably the best district in the state is the Peninsula District, and if you're going to win a state championship, you have to go through the Peninsula District. I think it's going to be too hard for them today. This is a real fine, well-coached, well-rounded, great athletes on a Phoebus team.
And the other team as well has an excellent team. We'll get to that in just a moment. We want to tell you that today's game is being brought to you by Zooms with 14 friendly neighborhood stores to serve you. Also brought to you by Pearls, located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call at 722-1907. And the game brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, located at Hampton Center Parkway at Armstead Avenue. Call them at 827-4670. And again, we appreciate our sponsors helping defray the cost of bringing you the contest. There you see the press box, and we are to the right of center. And we have used lengths of plastic and tape to guard the wind off of us.
And not only the wind, but the water was seeping through the roof, and we're getting wet.
The mother of invention is necessity.
Yeah, well, we've got plastic, and thank you for plastic and duct tape.
There you see the Phantoms just about set to come on the field. Let's talk about this Phoebus team for those of you that may not be totally familiar with how they've gotten here. They've done so very impressively. After an opening season 3-point loss to the Warwick Raiders, they have been on a tear ever since. And during this 12-game winning streak, they have defeated the Hampton Crabbers twice. They defeated the Warwick Raiders as a form of revenge. They knocked off the Bethel Bruins, the Heritage Hurricanes, who were the reigning state champions. So they've been impressive, and they have outscored their opponents 137-35 during this recent run through the playoffs.
Well, and Tim, the reason they've done that is twofold. First of all, they have a tremendous offense. They've got some great people in their offensive lineup. Hendricks at quarterback, Adibi plays fullback, McWright is the tailback, Brown is the one receiver, DJ Parker, who is kind of overlooked sometime, another receiver. Then you got two tight ends in Harris and Littlejohn. But then you have to look on the flip side. Defensively, the Phoebus Phantoms are probably the toughest I've ever seen. They're four linebackers, and I'm talking about Vernon Lee, Jason Hall, Mike Dixon, and Jeremy Blunt, Tim, have accounted for 341 tackles, 8.5 sacks, 4 interceptions, and 3 fumble recoveries, and 29 of those tackles are for losses. That's just the four linebackers. We're not talking about your two defensive ends, your 2 defensive tackles.
And a partridge in a pear tree is in there somewhere. As
man.
you were naming those down, it sounded like 6 calling French hens and whatever.
We'll do something, but I tell you, that is one reason the other teams have not scored any points.
They have been outstanding on defense. Now, this Patrick Henry team brings in a good attacking team. They've got a fine quarterback in Martinez, who has committed to UVA. This young man had an excellent season. On the season, 172 attempts. He had 90 completions. As you see, the Phantoms finally come on the field. He had 1,711 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Now, that's outstanding for this young quarterback, Martinez. But Ronnie Hendricks over at Phoebus, who's not known to be the star of this offense per se, he had a very impressive season. He had a 120, well, it's got backwards in the paper, 71 completions out of 125 attempts, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, and only 5 picks. You get to this game because you don't make more mistakes than your opponents.
And see, that's what Ron Hendricks does, Tim, is he doesn't make the mistakes. And if you look at the passage completion percentage, Hendricks is above 60%, which is just fantastic. You're talking about Martinez, the quarterback for the Patriots, Tim. He is a pocket passer. He does real well in the pocket. He's not a scrambler. So if the Phantoms can put some pressure on him, and Bill D says that they will put pressure on him, and I have no doubt that they will, then we've got you got him scrambling. He may not be as effective. And you have to understand that he lost Travis Gilpin, his outstanding receiver, broke a collarbone in the championship of the regional contest. So they're missing one of their integral parts of their offense on passing.
Well, and that's a real important point. Let's go down to the field now. I'm not sure, again, because of our technical problems, I'm not sure that we are able. Okay, so we don't have a mic on him, so we will not be able to. Yeah, we don't. The real problem, and we apologize for this, it's so unfortunate to have a game of this importance and this caliber, but sometimes you just can't control technical difficulties that occur because of the weather. We basked in the 75-degree weather we had last week at Mount Vernon, and we paid for it this week.
We have definitely paid for it this week. But
well,
one thing about as we watched getting ready to do the coin toss, the strong point for the Patriots team, they got 2 guards that are both 315. They've got their average offensive line is 265. A lot of people thought, well, that's real big. Well, I look at Phoebus, their offensive line average is 262, so you're only talking 3 pounds different. There's not a whole lot of difference there. The difference is going to be on the defensive side of the line and who can control the line of scrimmage.
Well, and it also gets down as, again, we continue to watch the ceremony, and we'll let you obviously see in a moment who wins the toss and who will be receiving, etc. The fact of the matter is, when you get to this level in the contest in the season, it really comes down to determination, and how badly you want this game. And with that in mind, right now we're going to show you a piece we put together on these Phoebus Phantoms.
It's been a long season for the Phoebus Phantoms, and going into this final challenge, they must ask themselves, what does this game mean? To find the answer to that question, they have to take a hard look back at their season, a look at the people that made it happen, and a look within themselves. The season began well before the semester, in an especially blazing summer. While some of their high school peers were enjoying the sun, these dedicated athletes spent countless hours of their summer vacation drilling and running plays, despite the tremendous heat. To guide them along, a squad of coaches keeping a watchful eye on their players, strategizing like generals reviewing their troops, next battle already in mind. Their season hasn't been easy either. Regular day jobs blend into long practices, which turn into tape reviews and counselings, all at the expense of time with their families. It's all part of the price the players and coaches pay, because when it comes to high school football, the school's namesake is on the line, and representing is priority one. Working equally hard at supporting the teams are the cheerleaders, bands, and boosters. Hundreds of hours are spent organizing, choreographing, and fine-tuning, all for that one night a week. Now, after 3 months of giving up their weekends, their support will finally pay off. This is the game.
normal schedule, they kicked off 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
So, again, we apologize for – we will try and show that whole piece at the beginning of halftime. How does that sound? Scotty, does that work for you? Okay, because that really was an impressive piece. Was that Mike Nowinski?
Mike Nowinski doing that. Doing a
really
good
nice job with that.
That was a pooch kick, Tim, to Brown, and
it's 5 minutes early. Not that we'd complain about getting this one underway. This is a DB, and a DB is out close to midfield as he is going to be very close to the first down marker. Looks like he'll come up about a half a yard short.
Well, we'll give you the offense for the Phantoms in just a second.
But the game is underway, 12-minute quarters in high school football, as most of you know. And we're coming to you from Richmond Stadium in a rainy, cold afternoon in December. Pretty much like you'd normally expect. We've just been spoiled.
We really have. Now, they run a 5-3 defense, they being the Patriots.
This is second down and a yard. This is McWright. He's got the first down and then some. Might have had a face mask. Didn't see a flag as his head was jerked back rather unceremoniously, but apparently it was a clean tackle. But they do mark it at the Patriots' 46-yard line. The Patriots of Patrick Henry undefeated on the season, although they had to go to overtime last week and defeat a tough Culpeper team to get to this contest. First down at the 46-yard line of Patrick Henry. Ronnie Hendricks at quarterback. And he fakes, gives to McWright. McWright off the right tackle is upended as he crosses the 45-yard line. Did a good job of just holding on to the football at that point. Going to have the lineups for you as we can in just a moment. Again, caught by surprise by the officials here. Starting the game 5 minutes early, and we've got some serious audio interference coming through. I think it's that boom mic they've got. Second down and 9 after the short gain. Hendricks will flare to the near side to Phillip Brown. He's got a blocker, got around the man, and he's still in bounds at the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
That's that play that they run so successful, Tim. That's a flanker screen, and Brown does a good job using the blocker that comes out there. And
all right, we're going to give you the lineups now.
Yeah. All right, for the Phantoms on offense, got Pavlik at center, the guards King and Braxton, the tackles Bowles and Bunch, Ains, Harrison, and Blunt. Flanker Brown, Hendricks, quarterback and DB fullback, and McWright is the tailback.
All right, back to the live action on first down. This is Adibi, Xavier Adibi. Those of you who may be familiar with another Adibi as brother Nathaniel. Of course, starring at Virginia Tech. And now we're going to show you the Patriots on defense. And they have Coleman at the nose guard. The tackles are Jackson and Christoph. The ends are Thompson and Woodworth. Robinson and Farley are the linebackers along with Mallory. The corners are Shuletta and Burley, and then the safety is Parcell Moore. All right, second down after a gain of 3. Second down and 7 to go for the Phantoms. Fake to Adibi on the option. He's got McWright. Pitch to McWright. He's got the right corner, and he has the first down before he goes out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Pearls has been in business since 1947. They have it all. Drapes, carpets, tile, vinyl, blinds, both mini and vertical. Custom designed for your needs. Give Pearls a call at 722-1907. They're located at 15 North Mallory and Phoebus.
Watch this replay. This is beautifully executed.
It was. Wait until he got hit, Tim.
A perfect execution. Then you saw McWright
run out of a tackle.
Yep, and he is rapidly approaching the 2,000-yard mark for the season. The young man has just been outstanding. This is DJ Parker in motion to the near side. The pitch to McWright. He's got the ball. He's inside the 15. He's down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line.
He's a hard runner, and it's hard to believe that young man with his stature, but he worked hard in the weight room in the off-season, Tim, and very dedicated.
McWright coming into the game 1,969 yards as you watch this replay. Had to reach back for the ball. A good job, McWright, that followed his blocking, which is done so superbly all year long. They mark the ball just inside the 9-yard line of the Patriots.
They got to get to the 6, it looks like for a first down.
Yep, and that'll be McWright carrying, and he will get the first down inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line. First and goal for the Phantoms.
Tim, if we watch all these playoffs, Phoebus has got the ball at the beginning of the game, received the kickoff, and have marched down the field and put points on the board. And that's what they're doing right now. They're just working hard.
Good work from the ground level camera there. Ron, ESPN Baton, and others. We've got some other extra camera. That was Brian. Yeah, we've got someone else. That's a touchdown.
That's a DB.
Xavier Adibi scores the touchdown.
What a nice run. Tim, we will pick a player of the game for the Phantoms. That player received a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Ink located at the Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwald at 596-8850. The shirt comes from Islander Sporting Goods located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
The extra point try by Mickle is good. So Adibi,
Here's the score, Tim.
from 4 yards out, 9 plays, 61 yards, 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
What a great shot, as our director said. Excellent.
8:13 remaining on the clock here in the first quarter. The Phantoms take the opening kickoff. As you said, Bob, they have done it all through the playoffs, taking it right down the field and scoring to lead the ballgame. It's so important to get that first score, and the Phantoms have been successful in doing so again with a DB and McWright.
Well, Tim, they really have a lot of confidence in their defense. We want to take a well, here's the offense for the Patrick Henry.
All right, and they have in center Stockner. The guards are Jackson and Cox. DeVore and Coleman will be the tackles. The tight end is Davis. Moore is the split end. Mallory is your flanker. The fullback is Sam Robinson. Majel Smith is the tailback, and Anthony Martinez is the quarterback for the Patriots. This kick is going to go out of bounds and give the ball to the Patriots in excellent field position. I'm sure that's not what Darius Barnes had in mind.
We'll give you the defense for the Phantoms in just a second. Want to thank Stacy Brand up here at UR Stadium, along with Phil Stanton, and Rich McDonald.
Phantoms on offense, Bob.
Defense. Tackles, Littlejohn and Harris. Ends, DB and Quincy McWright. The inside backers, Dixon and Blunt. The outside backers, Lee and Hall. Corners are Brown and Parker, and Ellis is the safety. Again, Stacy Brannon, Phil Stanton, and Richard McDonald who have gone out of the way to help us.
So the kick out of bounds will give the Patriots good field position at their 35-yard line as a result of that out of bounds kick.
If I stop in the middle of things because I'm doing things,
I know you're.
I apologize.
I'll tell the folks so you don't have to.
I
Bob
appreciate
is
it.
under the weather, in the weather, and he's a trooper. He's out here when he probably shouldn't be, but we appreciate Bob being the trooper he is. He wouldn't miss this game, so we'll prop him up in the way home. And that's right, you're driving, aren't you?
That's right. You better prop me up.
Left side carry is for a loss, something that has happened most often. That is Mallory, who got the call.
Do you see who made the tackle?
I'm sorry, Bob. I looked away for a second.
Right there, it looked like a DB over there on that side. A DB will always play on the strong side where the tight end is. Now, they don't have a tight end, but the strong side is this side because they got two wideouts on this side.
They're going to go out of the shotgun. Martinez has some time, throws, and it's complete at the 45 to the 50. And the Patriots connect on their first pass attempt. They've got a first down in Phoebus territory.
Well, that's one thing this young man can do, Tim. He can definitely throw the ball. He's got good protection from his offensive line that time.
He's big, too, 6'3", 220. We were watching him on the field warming up, and this is one very big quarterback who is headed for UVA.
Well, they're going to have to pass because it's going to be hard to run against this Phantoms, but if they can get some pressure on the quarterback.
And now we've got flags and whistles before the play.
Well, they had the defensive tackle on the left side never got set.
Defensive or offensive?
I'm sorry, offensive tackle on the left side. Thank you for the correction.
No, I didn't see the play, so I wanted to make sure. And that is illegal procedure, so that backs them up 5. There's our good buddy Ken Silver in your shot just a moment ago, the award-winning photographer from the Daily Press. If you look in the Sunday paper, you will undoubtedly see some superb camera work from Mr. Ken Silver. He's traditionally the man who gets the shots. All right, 1st and 15 after the 5-yard penalty. Man in motion is Mallory. This is a handoff into the middle of the line, and they'll pick up a couple of yards out of the 5 they lost on the illegal procedure call.
Well, Tim, they'll most of the time will run that dive, and they'll run a sweep, and they'll run the option. But that's their 3 main plays, and if we remember, that's exactly what Mount Vernon did. That was their 3 main plays. But this tailback is not the caliber of the young men that they have watched in Michael Johnson and especially the young man up there at
screen pass almost picked off. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, but Mike Dixon, Jeremy Blunt rather,
right.
number 10, almost got that pass.
Well, Jeremy Blunt, Tim, has had 109 tackles for the year, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 1 fumble recovery from that linebacker spot. And he was Johnny on the spot. They were trying to set up a screen.
There you see in the center of your picture, Bill D. And here's the replay of that last. You might be able to pick this up. He just narrowly missed getting a hand on that one. And a DB was going to be there to get the receiver had he caught it. Again, out of the gun, Martinez.
Oh, these guys are holding.
Oh, I can't believe they didn't call that. And the referee started to reach for his flag and then didn't. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, that's going to bring up 4th down and about 13 to go, and that'll be a kicking situation for the Patriots.
Well, in that case, if they'd have thrown the flag, Tim, I think Phoebus would have declined it because that brings up a kicking situation. Mike Hauser agrees with me. We got Mike Hauser over here helping us. Bob Killen, for some reason, went inside where it's warm and climate controlled. I don't understand that.
I do. He's smart.
Oh.
John Burley is back in deep punt formation. Phantom's got a pretty good rush on him. He got the kick away, and it sends Philip Brown all the way back inside the 10. He's going to pick it up at the 5, and that's where he'll be downed. And a great kick by Burley to give the Phantoms poor field position at the 5-yard line. Again, the wind with the kicker that time. Well, he took advantage of it.
Brown tried to catch it over his shoulder, and the wind just took it, but great kick.
You're going to see this. He just didn't realize the extra oomph on that ball as a result of the wind behind it, and Brown just never had a chance. So the Phantoms will start at their 5-yard line. We've got 6:41 left here in the first quarter. It's Phoebus 7 and Patrick Henry nothing. Out of the eye, this is McWright. And McWright is wrestled down at about the 7-yard line, so he'll pick up a couple of yards, give a little breathing room to the offense.
Well, they need a little breathing room down here, Tim, because they are backed up.
Zooms with 14 convenient locations on the peninsula, and boy, do I wish we had some of that hot Beantown coffee right now. It would sure taste good in this rather frigid outdoor position.
Wonder if they'd deliver.
I wish they would. Gain of almost 3 on the play. 2nd down, let's call it 7. And the ball carrier out to about the 9-yard line. Again, that is McWright. Check that, a DB rather. Well, I'm not sure. They were both there together.
I think it was McWright that had the ball, Tim.
I think it was too, and then I wasn't sure after the pile gathered. Here's the replay. See if we can pick it up a little better on the replay. It is McWright. And the Patrick Henry defense, who is a good team defense, have got a great position here because you've got the Phantoms pinned back inside the 10-yard line. 3rd down and 7 after a negligible gain for the Phantoms. Philip Brown goes in motion, and now a flag comes down. So, and I didn't see any other motion, but some infraction has been detected against the Phantoms. Is going to make it really tough because they're already backed up big time. Dead ball, illegal procedure against the Phantoms, so that'll cost them 5.
Half the distance. Well,
almost 5, 4 yards, because they were at about the.
Well, they're right back, 3rd and 10.
Well, they got a nice spot because they put it on the 5. They really weren't at the 10, I didn't think. But at any rate, we'll take it. We got a 3-yard penalty. 3rd down and 10 at the 5. Brown standing in his end zone, wants to throw and tries to get it to Philip Brown. Brown slipped on the slippery field as he cut back to the ball. He would not have had the 1st down in any event. So now the Phantoms will be forced to punt from deep in their own end zone. Watch the replay from the ground level. Ronnie Hendricks throws it, and Brown just couldn't get back to the ball. But as I said, it wouldn't have been enough for the first down anyway. Greg Narvid will be back standing almost at the end line. And now a timeout has been called.
Patrick Henry.
Let's see, is it Patrick Henry?
Yeah. I was watching the coaches on the far sideline, and they're calling timeout from the sideline, so that's exactly who it is.
So they will burn their first of 3 timeouts, the Patriots will. 5:09 on the clock. Here, as you see Bill D discussing something with the side judge.
Well, Tim, we will talk about a little bit about our crew. They did a great job of setting up Director Scotty Bowers, graphics Andy Foley, the audio Mike Nowinski, engineer Don Chiraus, cameras Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron ESPN Baton, and John Moore, the mobile cable technicians, Grant Rutledge, and Juan Brown, I believe, is down there. Quindell Evans may be there, I don't know. And instant replay, Andre Mattingly.
The weather has
you hear the wind
to change. You can hear the wind in our microphones, and I'm not even going to mention anything about the R word at this point. But this wind will be in Narvid's face, so this is going to be a tough situation. They've got 1 man back, actually 2 men back for the Patriots, so they don't send everybody. But Narvid's kick is going to be short because of the wind. Let's hope they get a bounce out of it. The ball does take a bit of a Phoebus roll, but it'll be at the 29-yard line. So a 24-yard punt, no return, and quite frankly, under the conditions, Narvid did a great job.
He really did, Tim. The only problem with that is you kick it high, the wind holds it up, but if you kick it low, then that guy's got a good chance for a return.
Yeah,
so
it's a no-win situation.
Yeah.
There you see the replay of the kick, and the Phantoms, the good news, bad news is because of the shortness of the kick, the special team was able to get down and prevent a run back. But now is where your Phoebus defense is going to be called upon to really dig in, because they're up against a good offensive team in this Patriots from Patrick Henry. Martinez over center. He fakes the pitch, wants to throw, goes for the corner.
Nobody there.
Nobody will get that one. That ball was in the corner of the end zone, 10, 15 yards over the head of the intended receiver, who would have been John Burley, closest man to the ball for the Patriots.
I think Burley was supposed to run a fly pattern to the corner and just never got there. Nice fake. Looked like it was going to be a pitch. Got a nice arm on him, but of course also understand he's throwing that ball with the wind behind him, and that may have gone a little further than he intended.
2nd down and 10 at the 29. We were hoping there'd be a lot of passing and incompleted passes, right, Bob?
Make this game longer.
That's right. Stretch the game out. Martinez is tripped, but he gets away from the man. He's now got a man open, completes the pass. This is Burley, and he will be at the 22-yard line.
Well, Tim, I thought there was an offensive man that moved before the snap of the ball that time. I don't know if we got it on replay or not.
Mike Hauser's shaking his head, saying yes, that he detected the same thing. I did not pick it up, but let's see if we can see.
Yeah, that big guy, number 70.
Yeah, it looked like the left guard moved before the snap of the ball, but it only is an infraction if they catch it. That's twice now. I could have seen a flag and didn't see one. 3rd down and 3, a huge 3rd down for the Phantoms here as they want to preserve this 7-point lead if possible. Martinez, short drop, got a flag down. That'll be holding. And Martinez will be sacked back at the 27-yard line.
And then you take the play.
Jeremy Blunt got Martinez, another sack for this Phantom defense. Got an illegal motion call. It was not holding, illegal motion. And they'll take that play, needless to say, with the loss and the down. Here's the replay. Yeah, the fullback 44 left before the snap of the ball, and then you see Martinez thought about throwing it, and then Jeremy Blunt was there to stop it. So as we suspected it would be the call, they refused the penalty. It brings up 4th down, and the ball at the 26-yard line, 4th down and 7. Well, no indication they're going to do anything but go for it.
Well, I don't know if they'll kick or not, because Bill D told me that the kicker is a little inconsistent. He missed an extra point and then turned around and kicked the 35-yard field goal.
Well, they are clearly not going for a field goal at this point. 4th and 7. Martinez has plenty of time. Throws, got a man open, and it's incomplete. Good decision by DJ Parker not to intercept.
Don't intercept that, baby, because you get the ball back in the line of scrimmage.
So the defense does the job again for the Phantoms as they hold after giving a 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line to this potent Patrick Henry team. Here's the replay. You're going to see Martinez could have knit a sweater back there, had all kinds of time, but he couldn't find his receiver, and Burley is clearly his man of choice this afternoon.
He passed the ball a little before he wanted to because the receiver was open, but he let him a little too much, and that might be part of the win.
Yeah, there's no question about it. It's going to affect everybody. This is McWright. McWright's got some running room. He's at the 35 to 40, and he'll have a first down after a gain of 14 yards.
What a runner he is. Tim, does he follow his blockers well or what?
It's the secret to success for any running back, but he does it with the best of them.
Well, I tell you, if you're a young man and you want to be a running back, watch this young man. Watch him follow his blockers.
Philip Brown doing a good job of leading the way for him.
Philip Brown does a lot. Plays
yes,
wide receiver, plays tailback, returns punts and kickoffs, and does a good job blocking.
Well, he reminds me a lot of Carlos Kelly, who
Campbell,
excuse me, Carlos Campbell. This is a DB, and a DB's all the way down to the Patriot 40-yard line. That'll be another first down.
I tell you, there's too many weapons for the Patriots to key on.
21 yards on the play to the 39-yard line. Watch this from the ground level.
Watch this spin.
Xavier Adibi. Young man is just talented. He does it on both sides of the ball.
And he'll be back next year, folks.
The only downside for the colleges in this state, they'd love to see him being a senior right now. This is McWright. And McWright gets to the outside. He's got some running room. He's down inside the 30. He pulls his way down to the 24-yard line.
Oh, he ran right over number 8.
He ran like he's 240 instead of 170. Travis McWright, 15 yards.
That's an outside linebacker, Tim. He ran
Another
over.
first down. He just ran over him, picked his spots, and went to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Phantoms. They are on the move. Watch the replay.
Watch him right here.
He's stopped. No, he's not. He just rolled and then dragged the tackler. Back to the live action. Quick hitter, Adibi. Xavier down to the 22-yard line. That's a gain of a couple.
That was number 51, Brandon Coleman, 245, 6'3", tackled him on that one.
And a penalty flag on the play. We got holding against the offense, so that will be a decision now. Do they want to play with the 2-yard gain, or are they going to back them up 10? I think they'll take the penalty.
I think they will too. It's a spot foul, Tim.
2:15 left in the first quarter. Phoebus 7, Patrick Henry nothing. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz coming to you from Richmond at University of Richmond Stadium, a beautiful facility, but a chilly afternoon here on the 8th of December, 2001. And quite frankly, Bob, I can't wait to get back into the press box. Looking at our good buddy, looking at the radio group over here, 2 guys in a booth that holds 6 people sitting there with their shirt sleeves on. We're going to have a little piracy here.
Yeah, I tell you what, if he could see my face, he would know I'm not a happy camper.
So a holding call will move the ball all the way out to the 32-yard line. That's a very costly penalty for the Phantoms. They would have been at the 22. Holding occurred apparently right at the end of the run. So the clock is restarted. We are 2:10. First down and long. On the option, Hendricks keeps it, and he
almost lost the ball, Tim.
Yeah, almost did, but he crawled to the 25-yard line, so he picked up a good 6, almost 7 yards on the play. Call it 6 as they mark it just short of the 25. Get a chance to watch this on the replay again. And he bobbled it a little bit. He had McWright back there in case he wanted to pitch to him.
Well, but he was just thankful to get a hold of the ball, Tim. I think he didn't consider the pitch at that point, but he was open.
So it's 2nd down and 11. Blitz coming. Hendricks has no chance. He is going to be sacked back at the 36-yard line. So the defense comes up big for the Patriots. That looked like it was number 31. That's Nate Farley. And so the Phantoms now going in the wrong direction after successive first downs. Watch the replay. You're going to see Hendricks, middle linebacker, just blitz right up the middle. Nobody there to pick him up, and Hendricks did a good job just to keep the ball. So they mark him out at the 36-yard line, and that brings up 3rd down and 20. exactly 20 yards for the first. No, 22 actually. In motion is Philip Brown. Plenty of time. Hendricks gets some running room to the near side, decides to take off with the ball. He'll not get a first down. He'll be tackled at about the 28-yard line. It'll be 4th down and about 13. And again, with the wind the way it is, unlikely you'll see an attempt at kick here. You're not going to punt it to get 12 yards.
We're going to have a timeout by the Phantoms, Tim. Well, I don't know if they could. Yeah, because there's 28 seconds and 25 seconds on the clock before you get the play snap.
If they didn't, if they had in fact set it up for to be set, but yeah, 28 seconds, you'd still have the 3 left over. So they will have to.
My thought was,
let the time run off.
You let the time run out, and you'll have the wind at your back for that last play, and you might kick a field goal.
Yeah, but you can hear the wind. It is getting lighter. Not that we've seen even a glimpse of the sun, but at least the skies are a little lighter than they were earlier. And a good crowd on hand, certainly considering the weather conditions for the afternoon. We've just been absolutely spoiled rotten all year long. All of our games at Darling were done in conditions that were at worst just cool.
Most of the time we had shorts on about all the game.
Yeah.
We get up here and you forget a coat.
I was optimistic.
Yeah.
Foolishly so. All right, it is 4th down and 13 to go. And Hendricks will try to throw. Short drop, the ball tipped and incomplete. So the two teams now have exchanged 4th down situations, and the defenses have held. And so the Patriots will take over on the 4th down incomplete pass by the Phantoms with 24 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Phoebus took the opening kickoff. If you joined us late, they marched 67 yards and scored with a 4-yard run by Xavier Adibi to take the 7-0 lead. There you see the scoreboard and the time remaining in the first quarter. From their 27, the pitch. And some running room to the outside, but it closed down quickly.
Micah Littlejohn.
Micah Littlejohn was there. Looked like there was some serious running room setting up for the young man. That's number 8, Jermaine Mallory. And you'll get a chance to watch the replay as time will run out here in the first quarter. There you see, looks like he's got some running room, and then Micah Littlejohn said, no, you don't. I've got you by the ankles, and he ends up getting 4. But that is the end of the first quarter.
Well, can we run inside during that?
I think we might. We're going to take off and run in and visit with Tony Mercurio for a minute.
Oh, no. Call Pearls for all your drapes. Custom designed by interior decorator Ray Paris and Tommy Thompson. They will do a free in-home consultation. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call, 722-1907.
There you see the Phantom Band in attendance here, having a good time.
Tim, I do want to again recognize Zooms for giving an award to the senior football player on each of the teams from Hampton this year who have demonstrated academic excellence. These players have been awarded plaques at a school board meeting on the 28th of November, and would like to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continued support of WHCS and our student athletes. And they, number 9, Marlon Ellis from the Phoebus Phantoms, number 1, Aaron Whitehead from Hampton, number 52, Tommy Hammond from Kickotan, number 54, Jonas Watson from Bethel. Congratulations, those 4 young men. And thank you again, David Allen and Zooms.
All right, second quarter set to get underway as we'll watch the Patriots with 2nd down and about 5. They gained a yard on the switch of the down markers. It had been 2nd and 6. So Martinez keeps and picks up a yard or 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4. A little less. Well,
he's going to mark it over there, but Quincy McWright was not fooled on that play. Watch this little move right here from Quincy McWright. Boom! Him and a couple other guys grabbed a hold of the quarterback. He's trying to pick up a quick 1st down.
They mark the ball between the 33 and the 34. They need to cross the 37 to get the 1st down. So it's 3rd down and almost 4. Martinez, short drop, swing pass. That is a lateral. That ball is live. and they do in fact get it, but that is a lateral, and it'll be back where the ball was recovered. Good call by the officials to spot that, because we saw it easily from up here.
Well, and that heads up on that tailback that flared out there, Tim, because if he had not dropped on the ball, it could have been picked up, and the Phoebus guy was thinking, oh, it's an incompleted pass.
No, and you know, again, the wind had a factor with that, because that ball just floated. It might not have been a lateral under normal circumstances, but it was, in fact, as a result of that. Now, Burley will be punting, and this time he will face that wind that Narvin had almost blocked it, but it's going to be a very short kick, and it takes a very minimal bounce. So the Phantoms will get field position, but a penalty flag down on the play. Let's see what this is a call. This is against the offense. They might make them kick it again. Back them up 5 yards, no?
Take the ball where it is, Tim. That's excellent field position.
Well, I'm a gambler. What can I tell you?
Well, you are. By the way, IRS contacted me there.
Not that kind of gambler.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
But Bill Deast is, nah, you know what? Let's just get this ball and do the smart thing, which is what Tim wouldn't have done. So they do get it in great field position.
A lot of things could happen. You'd run into the kicker. You could, you could fumble the ball.
Sure.
I mean, you got the ball. You got great field position.
No question.
Go.
All right, that's what they're going to try and do, leading 7-0. Second quarter just underway here from the University of Richmond. This is Travis McWright, and McWright will get across the 40 to about the 39, so he gets almost 2 on the play.
Big number 51 again in on a tackle, Tim. You talked about him earlier. That's Brandon Coleman, 245, 6'3 senior.
Second down and a long 8, almost 9.
I get a minute, I'll explain to you how they ended up in the playoff, in the state championship game.
And we got motion. Now that could have been against the defense if they have the same rule in high school as you do in the pros. The defensive player approached the neutral zone, causing the offensive player to flinch, but he didn't get into the neutral zone, so therefore it'll go against the offense. But in college, or not in college, but in pro ball, they call that against the defense. They call that, watch this, you're going to see exactly what I'm speaking of. Watch the defender come up. Not yet. Yeah, didn't see it as clearly on the replay. This is Hendricks, and he'll get just a yard or so, as the Patriots on defense are doing an excellent job right now of stifling this offense. The Phantoms have just rolled the last 3 or 4 weeks, but are struggling right now against a good Patriot defense. 12-0, you know.
Yeah, you don't get to this level, Tim, and not have a decent defense.
Phantoms look like the team we've seen all through the latter part of the season as they march down the field with the opening kickoff, but it's been tough sledding, other than they had 3 consecutive first downs after they were able to stop the Patriots, but then it bogged down with the penalties. Flare pass near side, got McWright in full stride, and he is out of bounds, but not before he gets to the 31-yard line, very close to a first down. It will depend on the spot. Looks like he's going to be just short. From here, looks like he's going to be about 3 inches short, Bob. I'm going to stick my neck out on this one. Watch this beautiful flare pass. Travis McWright showing not only can he run the ball, but he can catch it and then run with it. They're going to look at this one. It's going to be, I'll say, 3 to 6 inches short. I'm going to go, Eagle Eye is going to stick his neck out here, Bob.
Okay, well, don't stick it out too far because you're going to get cold. But let me tell you how this team got into the playoffs, Tim. They were in the overtime. Culpepper scored, missed extra point. They got down. It was 3rd and 19. They incompleted pass, so it had been 4th and 19. But they called a.
Do you see that? 3 inches or less. He's got to put a card in there to figure out whether or not it's a first down. So I was off. I apologize. I was off by 2 inches.
But anyway, the coach draws the play in the dirt, Tim, and says, "Okay, we're going to pitch the ball to the halfback. He's going to turn around and throw it back to the fullback." Well, back to the quarterback. Quarterback was covered, and the coach turned around to his team, says, "Well, nice season, fellas," and he turned back around and the tailback scored.
So they literally had to stick a card between the tip of the ball and the first down chain. So that's how close it is. It is 4th down, and the Phantoms will go for it with a DB and McWright in the backfield and Hendricks. And Hendricks has done very well with the quarterback keeper this year. So you see the officials' indication, an inch to go is 4th down. This is a huge play. You give the ball up or you have a fresh set of downs close to the 30-yard line. 9:09 to go. This is Hendricks. He just got all he needed.
All he needed was he's got to the 30, and that's it.
He got enough, and boy, it was touch and go for a moment because there wasn't a whole lot of movement. You talked about the size of that Patriot defensive line, the offensive line for these Phantoms, and if we can give them a call here, it's a good time to do it. They've done a great job on offense. You got your center Pavlik, who's very underrated. King and Braxton, Bowles and Bunch. These guys did a great job.
Tidwell comes in there and relieves Quest King at that guard.
All right, fresh set of downs for McWright, and he will be stopped after a very short gain just at the 29-yard line. Again, running in the middle of that line of the Patriots has been very difficult so far in this ball game. Clock continues to move as we approach the 8.5-minute mark here in the second quarter. Phoebus took the opening kickoff and went 67 yards for our only score. Xavier Adibi tacked on 4 yards, and the extra point by Mickle made it 7-0, and that's where we are. Short drops. That same flanker screen to Philip Brown that worked earlier, and Brown does a good job of getting yardage down to about the 23-yard line.
Did a great job, Tim, after he caught the ball.
He always does, you know.
Splitting the defense. So I want to congratulate Bill D on Division V Coach of the Year, Eastern District.
As you watch the replay from the ground level.
Eastern Regional, I'm sorry. Also, a Player of the Year in the Eastern Region, Travis McKnight. Defensive Player of the Year was shared by Micah Littlejohn and Western Branch linebacker Vince Hall. Congratulations, those young men. I have some more I want to talk about in just a second.
Xavier Adibi has the first down as he's down to the 17-yard line.
Hey, give it to your horse. Give it to your horse.
He's the guy. I'm going to tell you something. I am so impressed with this young man. He's just a junior, but he plays incredibly well on defense. 19 sacks on the season for him alone.
Unbelievable. Tim, first team All-Eastern Regional offensive guard Floyd Braxton, kick returner Philip Brown, tight end Shadid Harris, defensive end Xavier Adibi, and linebacker Jerry Blunt. Congratulations to those young men.
And Xavier Adibi again with the call. He is down to the 13-yard line as they are going with Adibi and McWright right up the middle now. You're using, and again, you know, anyone who watches football knows this, so forgive me for the elementary comment, but when you've got the speed and the power of McWright, you've got to watch him. You can't just key on one of those two guys. When you can have that double threat, it makes your offense so much more flexible.
You get your defense stuck in there real close, then you throw a little old jump pass to Shadid Harris.
Exactly. Here's McWright. He's got some running room to the 5, to the 3. First and goal for the Phantoms.
Hey, I said that right with you.
You're right with in unison.
Well, that's because you got my coat on. See, I know what you're thinking now.
Let me tell you something.
Hey, you thinking that?
All I'm happy to say is I lost enough weight recently to zip it up.
Well, you have. You're looking mighty slim there. I told Donna she better keep an eye on you.
Well, slim is not a word I get accused of very often, but I'll just settle for having lost some weight. This is Adibi, and he is in for the score. And Xavier Adibi from 3 yards out. He's got his second touchdown of the ball game.
I tell you what, I'm just so impressed with the way these young men have worked hard all year long. And now you talk about somebody crazy, Tim. We got a Phantom down there running up and down. It's got a cape on but no shirt.
Well, the exuberance of youth.
Yeah.
Mickle will try to make it 14-0. Arvid holds. Mickle, no good. So that's a rare miss on the extra point try. He thinks it was good. He's not pleased with the officials' call, and so often it can be just that close. Mickle thinks it was in the uprights, but apparently not. Here is the touchdown by Adibi. Fake to McWright. Excuse me, this is not the touchdown. I'm sorry.
That was the McWright run prior. Here's the full touchdown.
10 plays, 41 yards, 3 minutes and 40 seconds is all it took for the Phantoms to take a 13-0 lead. 6:23 on the clock remaining here in the first half. The Phantoms in quest for their first ever state championship. Hard to believe with all the success Bill D has had over in Phoebus that this is their first opportunity, but it goes to prove how successful the Peninsula District has been over the years, how difficult it is to win a state championship. Yeah. And here's the Phoebus Phantoms, the Bethel Bruins, and of course Hampton's storied history of getting to the playoffs and winning state championships. So Peninsula District continues to just do an outstanding job in that department. Long ways to go before this game is over with. Don't want to get ahead of myself here. But the Phantoms on top 13-0. Darius Barnes, whose first kickoff went out of bounds. This one won't. It's going to be right down the pike, taken at the 14-yard line. Special teams had him bottled up. He gets to the outside. And
did G.J. Parker do a good job of keeping in his lane, Tim? Not letting him get outside. So easy to get caught inside.
Well, and you know, that goes back to, I don't want to just give credit, but the coaches teach and these young men listen, and that's what makes your program successful. You've got to have a great coaching core, which Bill D has, and then if the players will be willing to be taught and be willing to be coached, then you have that success.
And of course I want to talk about Bill D's assistants, Ron Johnson, Greg Navard, who is the defensive coordinator. Great job. Dick Van Dyke, Jerry King, Greg Day, who played for Kozlowski over at Bethel, Stan Sexton, Bob Sislow, and James Holbert.
Sweep by the Patriots, and one of the better gains on the ground for them as the pitch went to number 8, Mallory.
I want to talk also about the coaches for Ray Long, head coach over there at the Patriots. Harold Henry, Jimmy Cobb, Sam Hart, Jeff Crowder, Joe Green, Bill Farmer, Scott Brown, John Smith, Matt Crowder, Tony Labrador, and John Christmas. There's a couple of names you don't hear often.
I want to correct myself. That's Smith that was running number 9. Their numerals are just not at all dissimilar to the Phantoms' old uniforms. Remember, their numbers were so small they ran together. You couldn't make them out. Well, they have that same thing in my failing eyesight. It's not number 8, but in fact number 9 who's been carrying the ball. Just one first down in the ball game, and that was throwing the ball when Martinez on their first offensive play. Watch the option play by Martinez. No chance as the defense was right there. 35-yard line, third down and a long yard for the Patriots. They'll give it to the fullback, and he's got plenty of running room. So often that happens. If you can get past that initial line, and he has got the first down all the way out. Jeff Thompson down to the 44-yard line.
Well, everybody got up there real close on the line of scrimmage, Tim. He popped it through, and he was in the secondary before anybody touched him. Great run.
Needed one, got 21. Here's the replay just at the tail end. You saw as the fullback just they went for the power with Jeff Thompson, and he was able to break it for 21. So the Phantoms now have the Patriots in their territory. Martinez, short drop, wants to throw, throws deep. Got a couple of players out there. That's picked off by Philip Brown. Philip Brown comes up with the ball.
What a great job by Philip Brown, Tim. He became the receiver. The receiver did not become the defender like he should have.
You know, we talked about the Phantom defense as an overall unit all year long, but they did a superb job against the pass. As you watch the replay here, this is just a pass that was up for grabs, and Philip Brown got there, got good position, and picked it off. That'll give the ball to the Phantoms at their 12-yard line. Yes, poor field position, but hey, beats the heck out of the other team being at your 12.
Well, you got 4:40 to go, Tim. You can run out, have a nice long run here, the drive.
This is Adibi. He'll power his way to the 16-yard line, so he'll pick up about 4. But if you're Bill D right now, you don't want to risk turning the ball over in this territory and giving some momentum to the Patriots. Watch the replay from the ground level. You're going to see Adibi following that superb offensive surge by the offensive line.
Great camera work, fellas.
And lady.
And ladies. I'm talking, that was a sideline.
I know, I was just throwing that in there too. Second down and about 6. This is McWright. McWright gets through the line. He's got some running room to the outside. He's at the 30. He's still going. He's at the 40. He's got one man to get around. He'll be pushed out of bounds, but not until he gets to the 44-yard line of the Patriots.
Lord.
Travis McWright.
Running out of tackles.
And that should put him well over the 2,000-yard mark. 39-yarder. And we are back up for are we about to break this table up and start a little fire?
I tell you what a great job that time by McWright, Tim, running out of tacklers. I mean, people had him, 2 or 3 different people had him. He just ran right out of the tackles.
They mark him out at the 44-yard line, but not until he picks up 39 yards. This is Adibi. Adibi's got some running room in the open. He's tripped up, but not until he gets to the 28-yard line.
That was Purcell Moore, Tim. He plays safety. You don't want your safety making tackles on Adibi.
The turnover has sparked the offense again. They show blitz. The Phantoms use good restraint and not jumping with that motion in there. And Xavier Adibi gets another first down. They mark him at the 27. And again on the ground as we now hit the 3:27 mark remaining in the first half. Got a Marshall Court Lafayette winning their contest this afternoon as they are in the hunt for a state championship at their level. They mark the ball at the 22, a gain of almost 5.
When did we start this? Around about the 11?
At the 12-yard line, to be exact.
Well, that was close.
Yep. I just remembered it because I remember commenting exactly where it was. This is McWright. And McWright slowed down for one of the rare occasions as he is stopped at about the 19-yard line, which will bring up a third down and about 2 for the Phantoms. But again, they're eating up clock.
Well, and that's what you want to do if you build D. Demon. If you get a touchdown out of it, you've got them down 3 scores. It really, and this team has not been behind many times this season.
This is a big third down for both squads as McWright had some shoe problems, able to get that corrected. This is Adibi, and he appears to and does have a first down at the 14-yard line. This offense, I'm telling you, the running attack is just chewing up the Patriots. First down at the 14-yard line. Clock is restarted as we hit the 2:20 mark.
Tim,
watch this offensive line make a hole for Adibi.
6'4", 215, and probably a little bit more than that, just a junior.
First down at the 14. Adibi gets the ball. He'll score! Touchdown number 3 in the ball game for Adibi.
Tim, I don't know whether the Phantom's going to go for 2 here or not. I'm not sure. They may just go for the extra. They're going to go for 2, it looks like. Hey, if you're going for 2, give it to Adibi.
Adibi, and Adibi. That's what's happened so far. I'm not stuttering, folks. He's scored 3 times here in the first half. 1 from 4, 1 from 5. Can't read my own writing now. And 1 from 14. So they will try to go for 2. And they'll actually pitch it to McWright, and he's going to try and throw it. He's got a man in the end zone, and he can't hold on to it. Phillip Brown, they say, trapped the ball. And Brown says, all right, well, I gave it my best. There you see Brown in your picture. So the 2-point conversion is unsuccessful, but it does give the Phantoms an 88-yard drive. And this is the touchdown coming up. You're going to see Xavier Adibi. No, that's not the score.
That's the one before. Here it is.
Here's the score.
Tim,
didn't touch it.
The line did such a great job blocking.
And we're going to try and we're going to show you the 2-point conversion attempt. And it was oh so close to being successful. There's in the right-hand corner of your screen was Brown, and McWright on the option just couldn't bring it in before it hit the ground. 7 plays, 88 yards. The only bad thing was it only took 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Man is a smart man. He wants to support his team, but he wants to keep his hands warm at the same time. He's dressed like we did, or I did at least, coming up here. Forgot to bring a jacket. I had a jacket.
Well, you may have lost weight, Tim, but your memory's going too.
Well, I have a jacket, but it's a parka. I was thinking, well, I just need a light parka. It's going to be, just a little 65-degree uncomfortable. Yeah, right. More like 45 degrees out here this afternoon. A couple of Patriots battle for the ball. That's a loose football, and they do finally cover it. That was a live ball.
Well, Tim, the young man was backing up, was signaling for a fair catch, and then dropped the ball.
Literally. So 2:07 on the clock. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining.
Watch it.
See, they ran into each other, and the Patriots were very fortunate not to give that one up. Boy, would that have been a huge turnover. So down 19-0, the Patriots now will start from their 19-yard line.
And I look for him to put the ball in the air.
John Burley, who's been the key receiver, to the near side, and they do, in fact, stick to the ground. So perhaps Coach Long has decided, look, we're just going to be conservative, get into the locker room and regroup. They can't afford a turnover, and this is the key to this thing here. Another score by the Phantoms would really put a damper on any chances they have.
Well, that was the fullback, Sam Robinson, that time with the ball.
They gained 8 yards on the play, second down and 2. My brain is frozen, excuse me, folks. And again, they hand off. This one is given to Robinson again.
And it's basically the same play.
Yeah, and he gets the first down as he crosses the 30-yard line, but time will be restarted here after the ball is set, and we now are at the 125 mark here remaining in the first quarter. So conservative plays. First downs in the ball game, 15 for the Phantoms, 3 for the Patriots. That's how dominant the defense has been here in the first half. And a lot of football remaining. This is the pitch to Smith. He's got the corner. He's got some running room, and he is down the sideline. So he goes out of bounds at the Phantom 40-yard line. 30-yard run by Smith. Majel Smith. Watch the replay. The pitch.
Did a great job right here, Tim, getting outside.
See what I'm talking about this numeral? It's hard to tell whether it's an 8 or a 9. Well, his 30-yard gain is what it was. Yep, had some good running room. One of the rare times that the Phantom defense has given up any kind of gain of that magnitude. The pitch, and Smith will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll be thrown for a 4-yard loss.
And you got to be careful.
Watch that celebration. Marlon Ellis enjoying the play, but you got to be cautious because high school football, they do not allow any celebration.
Well, looked like number 8, Tim. I think it was Vernon Lee.
Was it 8? Again, I'm got a little mist on my glasses here. Nonetheless, we'll give credit to either or. Let's make sure.
Nice tackle.
Might have been Vernon Lee.
I think it was Vernon Lee.
Okay, let's give him credit too. That looked like the Phantoms might have been offside on defense, but a penalty flag did not get tossed, so they must have timed it perfectly.
And Tim, I thought it was first until I saw who it was. It was a man hitting the center. The center had snapped the ball, and he was pushing the center backwards. And it looked like he was offside, but he wasn't. The ball was snapped. Nobody else on the offensive line was moving.
So the incomplete pass stops the clock with 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Phoebus 19, Patrick Henry nothing.
Good shot of Bill D.
Patriots, this man is so wrapped up in this game. You'd think he was an expectant father the way he's been nervous about this. The old hook and lateral, that ball is a live ball. This is Smith, he's still going. And he is down at the 31-yard line. It will not be a first down. Now this fourth down, and the Patriots, as of this moment, now finally call a timeout, allowing just 5 seconds remaining. So a little better time management might have allowed them enough for 2 plays.
Yeah.
They had about 9 or 10 seconds on the clock when they went, when he finally got down. You see the old hook and lateral you saw last couple of weeks ago when Virginia used it late in the game to defeat Georgia Tech. But that time, it ended up costing the Patriots extra time because they didn't get a timeout called right away.
Well, they got to go into the end zone on this play with 5 seconds. They got to go to the end zone.
Well, at least down close to it and hope you can run in. But you're right, it's really a one-play opportunity here with 5 seconds to go. They are at the 31-yard line of the Phantoms. Martinez, the quarterback, has been very successful this year. This young man, as we've already mentioned, headed to UVA, committed to UVA, 90 completions of 172 attempts, 1,700 yards, 17 touches, and now bringing that interception earlier. He has 9 interceptions on the season. So it's fourth down, but that's of relative insignificance here, as they really only have time for one play. They're going to want him to put some time on the clock. Interesting. They're going to ask him to put 10 seconds or 9 seconds at least. 8 seconds. Hold it up. I don't. He's showing 8 seconds. That's what they've done. So, yeah, well, no comment. I saw the signal for the timeout, and I purposely was watching the clock the moment it was called, and there was 5 seconds. So now that changes the dynamics a little bit if you can get a first down and call a timeout, and they do have one timeout remaining.
And the clock will stop at the first down.
Right. So there is the possibility now of 2 plays. They're going to try a double reverse pass, and that's not going to get the job done, because that will be a DB finishing him off along with others. Got 89, Shadid, 87 rather, I'll get it right yet. McQuincy McWright at 89, Micah Littlejohn 85. Trying to get Shadid Harris in there, he didn't get it. Watch this. Burley wanted to throw, and he was tackled around the ankles by Micah Littlejohn.
There you go, you
and
got it.
they finished him off to end the first half with a 15-yard loss. And the Phantoms go in the locker room, as we will.
We got a locker room.
Leading 19-0 at halftime. We'll return to the University of Richmond Stadium after this brief timeout. Back here at the University of Richmond Stadium, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz along with Mike Hauser out here in the elements as we have your halftime statistics for you. For Patrick Henry, they rushed the ball 14 times for 51 yards. Their leading rusher was Jermaine Mallory with 5 carries for 47. Passing, they were 3 of 9 was Martinez with 1 interception, that one by Brown. 36 yards all total. Leading pass receiver rather, was John Burley, had 2 catches for 27 yards. Just a total of 87 yards offense for Patrick Henry, 4 first downs, and they were penalized once for 5 yards. For the Phantoms, they rushed the ball 32 times for 218 yards. Travis McWright again over 100 yards in the first half, 118 to be exact, with 15 carries. A DB 12 carries for 92 yards, and of course a DB all 3 touchdowns in the first half. Ronnie Hendricks, good job again at quarterback, 3 out of 5, 34 yards, no interceptions. McWright 2 grabs for 27 yards. Total yards, well, Bob, you left this off, Mr. Killen. Let's carry 1 divided by 2, 27, 37, 245 yards offense on 15 first downs, and the Phantoms were penalized 4 times for 25 yards, and that's the only thing that really slowed the Phantoms down were a couple of those penalties.
Well, one thing that the Coach Ray Long wanted was 150 yards on the ground and 250 passing, and they've got a long way to go.
Well, they got a whole half to do it. This is Burley. He's got some running room to the near side, and he is out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. So good field position for the Patriots to start the second half. Phantoms 19 points in the first half, 3 touchdowns by Xavier Adibi. 1 extra point was good. They had one that went wide, and after that they tried the 2-point conversion, and Phillip Brown was unable to corral the pass for the 2-point conversion, and thus the 19-0 score. As you see us kind of bundled up here. But we're doing well, getting warmer by the second, Bob. And some running room. Oh, they got a break, the Phantoms did, because there was some running room there for Sam Robinson.
That was a counter play, Tim. Everybody, including the offensive line, went to the right, and he come back to the left, and there was nobody there. Watch this replay. McWright was inside, got himself caught inside.
I don't know if he'd gone much further because
Jason Hall was there.
Yeah, he was being zeroed in on, but that could have been a big play. 2nd down and 3. Ooh, what a nice stand-up right there. Was that number 12?
That's number 12,
yeah,
Tim.
Mike Dixon.
Mike Dixon met him head on, and he stopped. Good job of that linebacker filling that spot. Mike Dixon, Tim, is one of those young men that plays the inside linebacker.
Here's the play that Dixon just completed. You watched the slip a moment ago, then that play, and that's what kept the Patriots from getting a first down. It's 3rd down and a long yard, almost 2. And they give it to the big fullback.
And he gets it.
On a similar circumstance in the first half went 21 yards. This time the Phantoms make sure he doesn't get more than a yard or two, but that is enough for a first down.
And that's Jeff Thompson, Tim. He's 6'3", 245. He looks like a firebug. I don't know if he's that big, but he went right, just squirted right through a little seam there and picked up the
5'10", 200.
200. Okay, I didn't think he was as big.
Quite that big. This is Smith, Nigel Smith, and he is wrapped up at the 49-yard line. But again, the Patriots come out and show a running attack, something they weren't really able to establish in the first half.
Well, that'll make your passing game more effective if you can run the ball.
Just 86 yards, as I mentioned, in the first half on the ground. Gain of about 4, 2nd and 6. They try the left side, and that'll be good for a couple of yards to the near side. That was Robinson, number 1, getting the call.
If you have many or vertical blinds that need repair, Pearl's one of the very few places that repair blinds. Call them at 722-1907. Ask for Tommy Thompson or Ray Paris.
That's that same trap play that they try again. They fake the pitch wide and then the quick handoff inside. And again, the Patriots getting a couple of yards, but the Phantoms there to stop. Third down, the pitch to Smith. And Smith is flags all over the place.
Yeah.
Is not at the first down. He did not get the first down, and you'd have to think that if the penalty is against the Patriots, the Phantoms would decline it. Holding, they might take the holding call, although I doubt it. You make it 4th down and 3, or 3rd down and about 13. Watch the replay. You're going to see he did not get back, and then you see
it's a chop block, Tim.
Okay,
it's
so
a big one.
If that's 15, you almost got to take that one. I don't know. I'm not real good at this part of it. The strategy.
You're
here,
a gambler now. I thought you'd be good at this.
Yeah, but you know, you got to back them up 15 yards. When they didn't get but a total of 86 yards in the whole first half, you got to think, look, 15-yarder, I got to take it.
And that's you're right. It's exactly what's happening.
That's a big one. They mark it all the way back to the 40-yard line or inside the 40. So it's 3rd down and 17 to go, and 18 as they move it a little further back. 3rd down and 18 to go. So 4th and 3, 3rd and 18. You got to go with the percentages there.
Well, you really do, because now he's got to pass. Because I don't look for the run, I look for a pass this time, but it's got to be a good pass, and he's got to have some protection.
He gets the ball away, but it's well
Let it go, yeah.
Burley was the intended receiver. There were 4 Phantom defenders in the area, but that one drops harmlessly incomplete.
And he was back wasn't he in the shotgun formation that time? Direct snap.
So that brings up 4th down and 18, and of course a kicking situation. This will bring on John Burley, who is a linebacker. He's a wide receiver. He's the punter. He's Mr. Everything at the Patrick Henry team. One man back, that's Philip Brown for the Phantoms. High snap, fielded nicely, just got it away. And again, not a particularly long kick, but it takes a Patriot roll, and it'll be down at the 35-yard line. So that's where the Phantoms will have it for their first possession of the second half.
I wonder if we could call Zooms, Tim. I could use some of that Beantown coffee and a couple of Krispy Kreme donuts, or maybe a ham and cheese sub, and you know, we'll stop there after the ball game and fill it up with Citgo gas. But right now, whew.
Could use a little Beantown coffee right now.
I tell you, we could use a lot of Beantown coffee right now, enough to drink and a little bit to put my feet in.
That I like. Travis McWright is in the open. Oh, he just got tripped up or he was gone.
They wouldn't have caught him.
They just got him by the ankle, and that was enough to stop him from going coast to coast as he got to the outside, and he almost broke it. Watch the replay here. Going to see him break into the open right there. If he got by that guy, he was gone. First down at the 49. This is McWright again, following his blockers. We talked about it. He does it so perfectly. He's down to the 43-yard line, a gain of 7 on that play.
Tim, and he just keeps following his blockers and doing a great job, and that's what I like about that young man. is he'll give all the credit to his offensive line and his blockers. Picked up 8 more.
2nd and 2. Clock continues to move, 7:53 in the third, and he has stopped cold this time. Might have gotten a half a yard or more, but not much more. Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten. Give them a call at 827-4670, located at Armstead Avenue and Center Parkway.
I like the way you do that handoff. They don't know what we're talking about. I know what we're doing.
42 is the mark. You need to get to the 41, and who do you give it to? That's right, your horse. Xavier Adibi gets another first down. Phantoms just tearing up the defense. They have dominated this defense of the Patriots. 15 first downs in the first half. Watch this. This is 3rd and 1. And Xavier Adibi following this incredible blocking by this offensive line. You just can't say enough about this offensive line this afternoon.
And Phoebus is playing in an unbalanced line too, which is a little something a little different.
McWright had a hole. He's at the 20. He's down to the 16-yard line. Flag down, however, a penalty flag down. Back. And it's going to be a holding call. Is it against the Phantoms? If it is, it'll wipe out. Yes, it will. So Phantoms will not get the first down. They'll be backed up as a result of the penalty. 6:56 is the time remaining in the third quarter.
Well, that was clear down. Was he about to the 16? So
oh, yeah, it's a huge penalty. Instead of the 16, you're going to be all the way back to your 44-yard line, looks like. So it'll still be first down, but instead of a first down at the 16, it'll be first down at the 45. So that's a
well, from the point of infraction, Tim, that's only about a 6, 7 yard walk off.
Yeah, but it's the yardage you lost.
And that's true.
This is the draw play to McWright, and McWright still going, hops to the outside, and just won't quit. Young man doesn't know the word quit.
And he doesn't. He keeps his feet moving, and that's what makes him such a good runner, just keeping those legs churning.
Nate Farley finally wrestled him to the ground, and a loss on the play, but through no lack of effort, that's for sure. As you watch the Phantom cheerleaders having a good time this afternoon. And we'll have a little extra special thing at the end of the third quarter, a little message from the Phantom cheerleaders, I'm told. Ball is marked at the 40, almost the 49-yard line of the Patriots. The Phantoms need to get all the way down to the 28 to get a first down. 3rd and 20. Hendricks has it tipped. So
Brown was wide open.
Well, that's why I said Brown wants to. I was thinking where he was going with the pass, but the ball tipped at the line, so the ball never had a chance to get to Philip Brown.
Well, they've got some big men on that line of scrimmage, Tim, and I mean tall men, not only big, but they got 6 foot, 6'4", 6'2", 6'2", 6'3", 6'3". So, I'm sorry, defensive line 6'3", 6'4", 6'4", and 5'10". So you're throwing the ball over people that you normally are not throwing over, and you throw your hands up in the air, and you're another foot taller. So that defensive line is doing a good job.
3rd and 20, and this was picked off. Philip Brown trips up Burley, but not until the Patriots pick it off, and they'll have it at the Phoebus 44-yard line.
One of the very few mistakes that the Phantoms have made this year.
16-yard return after the interception by the Patriots, so that gives them hope here. Trailing 19-0, 5:48, plenty of time left as you watch Burley. He's been the receiver on offense, and now he turns defense very much like Philip Brown did with his pick. So each team now with an interception, and this one is a big one. This is the fullback, and he bounces the outside and does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Yet another loss on the play. I had written up a statistic I got out of the paper, and I thought was just incredible when you think about it.
60-some, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, the fact that the team has recorded a total of 60 sacks and 17 interceptions.
Yeah.
But Littlejohn has tackled players for losses on 29 different occasions, and a DB 26. That's an incredible amount of times, and there's another one.
Quincy McWright did a great job of fighting off the blocker, Tim, and making the tackle.
Another instance where a tackle for a loss. There's a difference about stopping a team after a yard, 2, 5, 10, whatever. These are almost 60 occasions that two players have stopped the other team for a loss on a play.
That was Quincy McWright, and it looks like along with him is Jeremy Blunt,
number 10. So the Patriots, after the first down, are going backwards now. It's third down and about 14. Martinez, quick pass, incomplete, intended for the receiver Burley, I believe, trying to pick up his number. No, that's not.
No, and
the
ball hit the ground first anyway.
Yep.
But that brings up a fourth down, Tim. It should bring in your punting unit.
I mean, you have that big play, and you come away with nothing. That's got to be a great lift for the Phantoms, both offense and defense, to stop them on downs.
Well, the center has been centering this ball a little high to the kicker.
Philip Brown back to receive the punt. Burley gets it away, almost had it blocked. This is a line drive taken by Philip Brown. Oh, what a block! What a block Brown got! And Brown will be down to the 49-yard line, but they're going to pick up a bad block. Not the one you and I were seeing and enjoying, but apparently a clip might have occurred as well.
Who was that? Was that a DB or?
I'm not sure who threw that vicious
either
block.
Either DB or Vernon Lee.
We'll see if we can pick it up for you. It's going to be on the picket line set up right there. Oh my goodness! But then there was a clip further down, and that will cost the Phantoms big time. So that's two occasions now when the ball was in Patriot territory that the Phantoms defense, their penalties have hurt them, and they've got to, this is what Bill D has not seen his team do this year, and except for the first game of the season.
Well, that take it all the way back to the 15.
Oh yeah, see that's a killer, because instead of in Patriot territory, you're all the way back. Well, they're still marking off down to the
15,
inside the 15-yard line. So the penalty's starting to.
What you do is you put it on the ground and grind it out. Give it to your horse.
425, and that's who gets the call. DB carries the ball for short yardage. Might have gotten about 3 out to the 18.
Is it me, or is this wind picking up and coming right at us again?
Yes, it is, and it's not a southerly wind either, I'll tell you that. Poor Mike Hauser over here.
It's not a friendly wind.
Not a friendly wind. Mike did not have the luxury of having someone who could bring him a jacket. Now, you want to put the umbrella up in front of you there, Mike, to kind of dim your view of the game. Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and 7. This is McWright, and McWright is stacked up after a very short gain. So the Patriot defense, knowing that the Phantoms want to be cautious here and not commit a turnover, playing a little conservative, as you might expect they would. So it's 3rd down and 6 for the Phantoms. Ball marked at the 19. They need to get right to the 25. So you got a choice here. Do you go with your power with the DB, or do you go with your speed with McWright? And the Patriots will give a little boost there. They'll get 5
more yards. We'll take all we can get.
Got a man in the neutral zone, and in high school ball, you don't have to make contact. If you're in the neutral zone and don't get back, or just in the neutral zone, period.
Well, just a little bit of moisture on that ground, Tim. He ran up there and tried to stop and then slid into the neutral zone. So now you got 3rd and about a yard.
Yep, see, it was 3rd and 6, so they don't even need a complete yard. So this makes it a whole lot easier for the Phantoms to pick up the first down. But again, they have to do it against this tough Patriot defense. They're going to stick to the ground with a DB, and a DB looks like he got it with second effort. It depends on the spot. It looks like he got right to the 25.
If he's on the 25, he
got it. First down. So Xavier DB, and he got our Player of the Game award last week. He's likely to be a repeat winner this week.
I tell you what.
What a guy, what a game this young man has had. What a season this junior has had for the Phoebus Phantoms. And take nothing away from Travis McWright, because in his own right, they're both just incredible ball players. This is a DB. He just rolled over the defender to get the first down. So a huge penalty helps them get that first. This is McWright, near side, got some running room. He's got the corner, 30, 35, tripped up as he gets to the 37-yard line, and that will be another first down for the Phantoms.
And I'll take them out of their end of the field and give them a little bit more breathing room. But I tell you what, this running attack that they have has just been phenomenal. They get such great blocking at the line of scrimmage and at the point of attack. And then when they go outside, it seems like the blockers get downfield real quick and give them some great lanes to use.
First down at the 37. Inside handoff to a DB, and a DB picks up 8 yards. Almost 9. It's a DB and McWright. McWright and a DB. And there you see us.
There's us?
That's us. That's us. Watch your replay. Xavier Adibi just has had a phenomenal season and postseason particularly. This is Hendricks, and he'll get the first down with the quarterback keeper. He is out to the 48.
He just went over and got behind that left guard on the left offensive guard, and it looks like that's number 74, if I'm not mistaken.
First downs.
Floyd Braxton.
First downs in the second half now. 6 for the Phantoms, just 1 for the Patriots. And in the game, it's 21-5 in favor of the Phantoms. McWright follows his blocking. Gee, that sounds like I could just put that on recording.
You could.
And just let it keep playing over and over. But he does so well. He's just a very intelligent runner, for lack of other descriptions.
Well, Tim, you know, we talk about this offensive line, but you just can't give them enough credit. Alan Pavlik, Wes King, Floyd Braxton, Jason Bowles, Craig Bunch, and Dale Tidwell.
Gain of 3, second down and 7 for the Phantoms. Again, that fake pitch rather, and the handoff to a DB, and another first down.
I tell you, what he does, Tim, is after he gets hit, if he doesn't run over you, he twists and turns and picks up another couple, 3 yards.
And I got to tell you, the time of possession is just getting more and more in favor of the Phantoms here. This defense for the Patriots, several of them got their hands on their hips, and you know, Coach, that means you're sucking for some air.
Well, that defense has been out there a long, long time.
And they've been being banged, too. They've been being hit by that offensive line time and again. We are inside of a minute remaining in the third quarter. McWright, a DB. This time it's McWright. McWright picks up a couple of yards. And it's conceivable if they mark the ball with enough time left on the clock that it will be. They could actually use this as the last play of the third quarter. And you see our mixture. This was put up, folks, because there was leaks in the roof overhead dripping down on our equipment, not to mention on us. There you see Mike Hauser trying to get a little airtime as well he should. He's out here with us in the cold. And you see our perch here as the Phantoms will go to the sideline and enjoy the end of the third quarter, holding up 4 fingers to the crowd to say we're in the fourth quarter, boys and girls, and we're up 19-0.
And we got the ball and we're moving, and that's exactly what you want to do.
The Phantoms in quest of their first ever state championship. This is the Group AAA Division V championship game from the University of Richmond. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz, Mike Hauser, and somewhere in the warmth of the press box is Bob Killen.
Bob Killen, yeah. Tim, I was one little bit on these linebackers, outside linebackers. Vernon Lee had 40 tackles, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. Jason Hall had 64 tackles, 1 interception, and a fumble recovery. Inside backer, Mike Dixon, 61 solo tackles, 128 overall tackles, and 3 sacks. Jeremy Blunt, inside backer, 109 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and a fumble recovery. That's why this defense does such a good job. You've got a linebacking crew that does that, and then you've got a DB, Michael Littlejohn, Shadid Harris, and a DB, and who else on that?
Blunt, Dixon. I mean, you can just go on and on about the
Little John Harris and DB McWright. Quincy McWright is who I was trying to think of. Those are the 4 front men on that 4-4.
There you see the Phantom fans holding up the 4 fingers. This is McWright near side, stiff arm, and he is to the 37-yard line, stays inbound.
Whoa.
A late flag came flying through. I'll be curious to see what that is going to be about. Penalty flag. If this is against the Patriots, this would be huge. This is going to be 3rd down and long. We've got a clip against the Phantoms. So a late flag coming down, and that will hurt the Phantoms. A clip there. You see the fans enjoying it.
Well, we didn't get the little thing with the cheerleaders.
Oh, that's right. We can't do that. That's right. That was the plan we had in effect when we had wireless mics that were working. Sorry about that, Scotty. We did jump the gun. We were trying to make sure we got what we could, but you're right. We had technical difficulties, though. Those of you that joined us late, we normally have a mic on the referee, and of course we weren't able to do our pregame show down on the field. Stood down there in the rain for about 35 minutes, and through no lack of effort.
That's
Andy
right.
Foley and Mike
Andy
Lewinsky.
Foley was running all over the place. He shoved a piece of steel in his finger and just kept right on working.
Our crew just does an incredible job, and this being the last game of the season, we always want to recognize them, but it's, again, the dedication of the guys and the young ladies that have been involved with our crew over the years is just outstanding. They give up their weekends, they give up their Friday nights, and they do a great job. It's under these conditions that you can really appreciate all the things they do. And Andy Foley didn't want to give up. He was willing to do whatever it took to make it work. He was out here hanging off the roof here trying to get the antenna to work, and it just wouldn't. This is a reverse to Brown. Philip Brown, right side, and he unfortunately cannot get past the defender on that side, so he will only get to about the 48-yard line.
Well, that was a good call, Tim. It was a safe call.
Yeah, not a lot of handing off of the ball, no pitching, and no opportunity for a big error to hurt you. And it is now 3rd down and 18 to go. So now, if you want, you can air it out. You throw it deep, and worst thing if you get picked off, it's pretty much what you would have gotten with a punt anyway. Clock moving as we are under 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. 19-0 in favor of the Phantoms. Now the Phantoms need to call a timeout.
Well, they weren't in the right offensive set.
They had some confusion, and rather than incur a 5-yard penalty, they do take a timeout to get their team act together, which they have had together. These young men have just done an incredible job. You see the fans here in the stands, and loyal fans they are, because they have endured some rather inclement weather, although I will say we've caught a break from the rain.
It really has.
It could have been rough.
And look, if you look off in the distance, it's kind of misty looking, look like it's raining someplace, but it's not here. I know one of the groups up here, Brent Musgrove and his crew are up here. And here is us. We're ready and able to sit here and enjoy this ball game.
You see this jacket? This was a gift from Bob.
Hey, it's a loaner, a loaner.
But I'm telling you something. It was definitely one of the better things you've ever done. Just bring that jacket. Throw that jacket in the trunk of your car, my friend, because otherwise your partner here would have shivered to death by now. This is a screen pass to Adibi. He's got some running room. He's got the first down and then some. He's down to the 20-yard line.
Oh, what a nice play that was.
28 yards.
Knowing if you're Patrick Henry, we're going to get the ball, right?
29 yards. He got to the 19-yard line. Look at that. Hendricks played that beautifully. He looked off the defenders going to the left.
They're blocking the center. Pavlik is downfield blocking.
Let me tell you something. This team, if they don't win it, it's a travesty. They've done everything they can to do the right things. Here they got a first down on a 3rd down and 18 at the 19-yard line. And the first time all day, I recall McWright being thrown for less than a gain.
Yeah, and that was number 44.
Shot the gap, played it perfectly.
Yeah, he plays one of these. He plays a defensive end, and nobody picked him up.
Watch this. He just shot the gap. He just didn't get blocked, and that's going to happen. They marked the ball at the 22-yard line. It's 2nd down and 13 to go after the 3-yard loss. But we have gone under 10 minutes now. 9:47, and the clock is moving. The pitch to McWright. He's got a block from Adibi. He cuts it inside, and McWright is still struggling across the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
And he's, Tim, he picked up about 3 more yards after he was hit. And you can see the time in the game.
He would be the last to be worried about this, but his 118 yards in the first half put him way over 2,000 yards for the season. He had 1969 coming in, so he'll approach the 2,100-yard mark before this game is over with. He's approaching 200 yards in the game right now. Adibi just powers his way down to the 11-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and a couple to go.
I think it'll be 4th down, Tim.
I'm sorry, 4th down. There's 15 first downs for the Phantoms. 15 plays. I'll get it right yet. Mike is showing me stuff, and I'm just not sure what I'm reading here, but 15-play drive. Oh, you like it when you can use that kind of thing late in the game, don't you?
Well, Tim, we got about 2 yards, 4th and 2.
Yeah, and again, this is the Patrick Henry quandary. Is it going to be the power of Adibi or the quickness of McWright? It's going to be McWright following Adibi, and he will get close to the first down depending on the mark. It's going to be ever so close. Worst case is Patrick Henry is 91 yards away from the goal line. It's a first down.
And he stretched for that. There's no doubt about it. Watch the replay.
Well, and he had watched Adibi do the blocking for him. He got the block and went around the block. Adibi pancaked his man.
Yeah.
And McWright got the first down at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal, they lead 19-0, and we are approaching the 8-minute mark. Ronnie Hendricks, who's just played incredibly well all game long, all season long, fumbles the football. He got it back. Got to be careful about my praises.
Yeah, don't be.
It wasn't my fault.
Putting the whammy on him there. But he faked the ball to the fullback, Tim, and it just got knocked out of his hands.
And his hands are wet and they're cold and the ball is slippery, so there's a lot of factors involved. Although it has not rained ever since the first half, so that, as we've already mentioned it, but without being too redundant, it's been a real assist not to have the rain coming down.
Well, Tim, you know what I'd be looking for right now?
A heater?
No, I'd look for Shadeed Harris.
Shadeed Harris, yeah, I was thinking that too. Haven't done to that class all day long. Got the play action fake. He's got Brown. He's got Adibi. Touchdown, Xavier Adibi.
Oh my, 4 touchdowns for Xavier Adibi.
How many yards, Mike? Well,
a lot of yards, but that's about a.
That was about a 12-yard pass to Adibi.
Well, actually, yeah, because it was
1st and goal at 9, and then they lost 3.
Lost a couple, 3 yards, yeah.
All right, Jason Mickle will try and make it 26-0. His kick is up, and his kick is good. So the Phantoms could possibly have put the nail in the coffin with 7:20 to go. As you watch this play, Hendricks finds Adibi wide open for the touchdown.
Everybody, including me, was looking for the man in the end zone, Tim.
Could you script up a better drive? 18 plays, 85 yards, 9 minutes and 5 seconds with the final score. Now, if it hadn't even scored, it would have been a huge play. But to tack on the touchdown with a 9-minute drive to make it 26-0, barring just a miracle on the part of the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, Tim, what they're going to have to do now, they cannot have a sustained drive. They're going to have to try to score quickly, get an onside kick, and the way they're going to do that is pass. And, Hayes said that the 3 things can happen when you put the ball in the air. 2 of them are bad, an interception and incomplete. So you look for Phantoms to come out here and just play heads up and want to run off this last 27 and 20 to go in the game. I'll get it out.
Martinez has been a non-factor in the game. I'm not sure of his total statistics, but in the first half, let me just go back to my first half statistics. Passing just a total of 29 net yards in the first half. Short kick taken at the 27-yard line. Phantoms are there. He gets to the 30. That's about it. 3 yards, and that's all for the Patriots. So they'll mark it at the 29-yard line. First down for the Patriots. They trail 26-0. It's been Xavier Adibi from 4, Xavier Adibi from 5, Xavier Adibi from 14, and then a pass play of 12 yards to
who?
Adibi.
Oh.
It's been the Xavier Adibi scoring fest this afternoon. 26 points on the 4 touchdowns by Adibi. This is 44 Thompson, the big fullback, who picks up about 7.
That surprises me. I don't look for him to try to grind it out. Tim, you're inside 7 minutes.
Well, if you're the Phantoms, you say, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, run it. Take 25 seconds.
Make that clock move. 3 timeouts still remaining for the Patriots. 2 for the Phantoms. And we're at 6:42 remaining in the ball game. Martinez, the pitch. Smith will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He's thrown for a loss back at the 36-yard line.
And
stayed in bounds, too.
That was my point.
I know you're trying to get that out.
Boy, I tell you, I'm having trouble getting my mouth working.
Well, you're doing just fine. This young man to my right here, I say young he is a young man. Here with a cold and a cough, and his wife called at halftime to remind him to take his medicine.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. That's going the extra mile for your wife to call from Hampton to remind you to take your medicine. We don't need you in the sick bed for the rest of the year, that's for sure. We're at 6 minutes to go. Clock continues to move. 3rd down and 4, and they stay on the ground. They're surprising you, me, and the Phantoms. They get the first down and going out of bounds after the tackle by DJ Parker.
Well, Tim, they've had more success running the ball than they have passing the ball.
Well, and they have, and you make that point. It's a very valid point. The only problem is when you run the ball and don't get out of bounds, the clock continues to move. Watch this replay. I mean, you're right. Their ground attack, which is something they weren't particularly known for, has done the job for them. I mean, they had 1,800 yards between Robinson and Smith on the ground this year, not to minimize their running attack, but they haven't been in a situation like this before where you're down 26 points, and now we're approaching the 5.5-minute mark.
Well, Tim, they have not been shut out all year. They've scored 19 against Atlee, 23 against Henrico, 67 against Thomas Jefferson, 13 against Hermitage, 40 against John Marshall, 54 against Douglas Freeman, 28 against Bills Godwin, 34 against Lee Davis, and 55 against J.R. Tucker. That was just a regular season, so they're not used to not having some points on the board.
Martinez completes the pass. Burley's got it for a first down at the Phantom 32-yard line. So that will move the chains and momentarily stop the clock. We're at the 5:11 mark remaining. Watch the replay here. This is one of the rare times Martinez has been able to take a short drop and fire across the middle and complete a pass. Clock is restarted, and we are at 5 minutes to go. You know the Phantoms want the shutout, but they don't care as much about that as they do the victory. And this is Martinez sacked.
And it's Quincy. Is that Quincy McWright?
Is it 89 or, yeah, 89.
89, that's Quincy.
Quincy McWright, the brother of Travis McWright. So a yard loss or a lard loss, one of the two. As you saw the tail end of that play, 4.5 minutes to go. And they continue to run the ball. And they'll stay in bounds.
Well, look at the swarming defense.
I got to tell you, Bob, the Patriots have conceded the game.
Yes, they have.
Coach Long has said, guys,
good season.
Good season.
We will end up with one loss, the same as the Phantoms, except the Phantoms will have one more win and the big one.
We're inside of 4 minutes. The countdown continues. 32-yard line, 3rd down and 10. Again, Martinez to pass, and it's complete. He's got the first down at the 20-yard line.
It's a great fake that time by Martinez, Tim. A fake the pitch and then hit the crossing receiver.
Well, you see, the thing is, you're absolutely right talking about the run. Run sets up the pass, and if you run all the time, if you run enough effectively, then they can't key on just the pass. But the problem is that you're behind by 26 points.
Yeah, really.
And no time to do it in. You got 3.5 minutes.
Marlon Ellis did a great job of coming up and stopping that pass receiver.
Sam Robinson gets the handoff on the inside trap play and only picks up a half a yard.
By far the best drive that they've had in this game.
No question about it. And again, I can't tell you enough, the Phantoms want this shutout. But right now, they're not worried about that. They'd rather just have the big W. We are at 3:03 to go. And this is going to be a touchdown. Sam Robinson will find the end zone from 20 yards out, and the Patriots fans finally have something to cheer about. So the shutout will not occur today, but a 19-point deficit at best and a 20-point deficit at worst, as they're going just for one. Their kicker is Stephen Andrews, number 17, who will try. His kick is up, it's long enough, and it's good.
Well, Tim, the Phantoms have given up an average of 6.9 points a game.
10 plays, 71 yards, 4 minutes and 2 seconds as you watch the replay of the touchdown.
And the big thing was the 4 minutes and 2 seconds going off the clock.
Well, and you know, again, if you're the Phantoms, you have a 19-point lead. You just have a little less than 3 minutes to hold on, and the Patriots haven't been able to stop the ground attack all day. I can't imagine there would be any reason at this point where you're going to see otherwise. Yeah. Going to pick 2 players of the game. Let me think here. Let me see.
Let's see. You want to put that recording on? A DB for how many? A DB for how many?
A DB for a DB. He gets both of the players of the game
no,
awards?
we can't do that. We can't do that. We will give him
Nor
one.
should he.
We will give him a player of the game for as one of them, and we're going to hold off on the second one. I got a good idea who it might be.
Kicking off for Patrick Henry, number 17, Stephen Andrews.
Short kick. Phantoms make what apparently was not a fair catch call, because that was Shadeed Harris who got nailed. Okay. Just the other, almost 200 yards on the other side.
Well, last game was both, it's,
I understand. We're just having a cryptid conversation about trying to figure out a way. You'd like to give players of the game to the entire offensive line. You'd like to give players of the game to the entire linebacking core.
Absolutely.
You'd like to give players of the game to the defensive line. But you know what? They're going to get their reward. It's called a state championship. And they will be more pleased with that than anything you or I could possibly give them in the way of a reward. But that is a DB carrying the ball for 4. Clock is moving. 1 timeout. Excuse me, not 1 timeout. 3 timeouts remain according to the scoreboard clock for the Patriots. I thought they had called 1.
I thought they had 2, but maybe they hadn't.
I know the Patriots, the Phantoms rather, had called 1. But again, no effort on the part of the Patriots at this point to call a timeout. This is McWright. He gets to the outside. Oh, what a nice cut. And he gets the first down across midfield. That's a fresh set of downs, folks, with 2:13 on the clock. The Patriots down by 19, and the Phantom fans, as you see them, getting set to erupt here as they are about to enjoy the first state championship ever on the football field by the Phoebus Phantoms.
And congratulations to Bill D and his coaching staff. They've done a good job. The kids have worked hard, and they've stayed focused all year long and didn't let that first game loss affect them.
A DB gets the call, and he drags tacklers for 6 or 7. Bill D just got.
Did he get drenched?
He's getting ready to. They've got the players down here have gathered around. I don't think they're thirsty. They're gathered around the bucket, and I think Bill D might get a very cold shower before too long.
And I don't think he's going to mind.
Well, he was in bed sick for a long time, so let's hope that doesn't happen again. A DB in the open. A DB all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Xavier Adibi, remember the name, he's just a junior. 27 yards on that carry. He's well over 100 yards in the game. Here's your replay. Just chewed up the Patriots this afternoon. And here come the Coolers. I don't know if we can get it. Bill D is just gotten drenched. Oh, no, that wasn't D either.
No, that was Ron.
No, that
Ron
wasn't.
Johnson.
Yeah, Ron.
I believe it was Ron Johnson.
And that is on first down, a run with the clock moving. We're at the 40-second mark. It's all over but the shouting, guys.
And I think the Phantoms are going to run one play, Tim. And
That's all they've got to
out.
do. They've got to run one more, and then they can take the ball and go home.
I don't even think they're going to try to score. I think he's going to take a knee.
And he does, and that is the game. The Phoebus Phantoms, and Bill D just got drenched. He just got nailed, and he doesn't care. They could care less right now. Time still on the clock, but that's academic.
Well, Tim, our other player of the game's got to go to Travis McWright. I mean, there's so many young men that they're deserving. They're going to get a championship trophy.
There's no way to single out as many heroes as this Phantom team has fairly. And we do so only because the guys who carry the ball, who end up in the end zone, who get the first downs with the ball in their hands, get so much of the notoriety, and it's so hard to pick on some individual otherwise. But there you see the story of the contest. The fans on the near sideline enjoying the moment as you and I are. Our players of the game, Xavier Adibi with no less than 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing and 1 passing.
And I don't know how many tackles on defense. Can't even come up with that.
Innumerable. We're going to tell you this game this afternoon brought to you.
And don't forget Travis McWright is the other one.
Travis McWright is the other player of the game, absolutely. Almost 200 yards, if not 200 yards on offense. Game brought to you this afternoon by the following sponsors. All right, we're going to have that for you in a moment. Zooms, 14 friendly neighborhood stores to serve you. Zooms. Brought to you by Pearls, located at 15 North Mallory. There you see him, 722-1907. And the game brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager. Call them at 827-4670. Well, Bob, it's been a great season.
It's been an awesome season.
We've been able and enjoyed the postseason play with the Phantoms, winning the games they needed to and doing so impressively to win the Group AAA Division V State Championship for the City of Hampton and for Phoebus High School. Congratulations to Bill D, your coaching staff, and all of the Phantoms. There you see them as they should enjoy the moment.
Superintendent Alan Davis up here watching the game. We talked to him during halftime. Got a chance to see Ron Cherry, a young man that has refereed a lot of games now down in the ACC. Flew up from Atlanta just to come up and see this ball game. That's how much importance that a lot of people put to this game and this Phoebus Phantoms. They have worked so hard all year long, put innumerable hours in the weight room and on the practice field, and the coaches and everybody has stayed focused. You know, hats go out to them. Great job, Bill D and his staff.
All right, that's it. The final score, the state champion Phoebus Phantoms 26 and the Patriots of Patrick Henry 7. For Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, Mike Hauser, and the entire Channel 46 crew, happy holidays, everybody, and congratulations to the Phantoms once again. Good afternoon, everybody.